Hey guys, Tunar Marine here doing a quick video on running and kind of, maybe how you should get into it. Running is, it's easily probably the best exercise you can do for getting in shape. You need that cardiovascular shape to help you be able to do everything else, because if you haven't worked out in a long time or you've never worked out really, outside PE and shit, chances are doing anything, just jogging up the flight of stairs in your house, you get to the top and you're breathing heavy. And that's no good. That's no good. You don't want to be able to, you don't want to go up a couple stairs and fucking be ready to be done. You're like, well, I worked out. You don't want that shit. So running is where it's at. And it's tough to make a how-to video on running because everyone's going to be at different points of being in shape. If you run consistently, you run 4 or 5 miles a day, then you already know this shit. So if you have any advice, by all means, feel free to post it. If you fall into that category and you work out consistently, whatever the case. But the best advice I can give when it comes to running is to start slow. Start out with, say, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to jog a mile. Figure out what a mile is for you. If you're able to go to your track, it's 4 times around the track. If you're doing it near your house, run half a mile away from your house, and then go back. And I use, I think they have it for Android as well, but I have an iPhone, and I use the Nike running app to ensure my distance. And it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn close. So what I do when I'm trying to come up with different routes running for near my house is I just turn that app on because it times you as well, so you know how fast you ran it. And I run, a half a mile. Say I want to do a mile. I'll go run half a mile, and I'm boom. I know I'm at half a mile, so now if I just turn around, take the same route back home, I'll be at a mile. And that's what I do. So, you need to start slowly. Ideally, you want to get, I would say, at least 30 minutes of running in, of where your heart rate is elevated a day. I would eventually say 5, if not 6 days a week. You want to keep it at that high level because that will, the 20 to 30 minutes will help you. They say scientists have figured this shit out, and they say that is the optimal time frame to improving and to getting your body, into better shape. Obviously, you're gonna if you take longer, that's completely fine. It's better to run longer than it is shorter, because if you run short, then it's better than nothing. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't benefit you nearly as much as if you push it and you just keep running. So start slow. Do a mile. Say on a Monday, you just do a mile, and you do that all week. Monday through Friday, you do a mile, and the next week, if you're able, push it up to a mile and a half, and if not, then that's fine. Do the mile again, but this time when you're doing the mile the second week, try to make it go faster, because you'll have the Nike app. If you use that, it has all the days and times and stuff for your runs saved. And so you'll be able to see your 5 runs, and say the mile took you 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You can be like, all right, if it took me 20 minutes, I'm going to push for 18, or I'm going to push for 17. And just try to step it up a little bit. And eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, you know what, I can do 2 miles. And you'll be able to do 2 miles. And that's the point that I'm at right now, where I've been able to push it farther. I've been able to push it, harder and improve my times. And I found that that's the best way to go. And just to stay consistent with it, mix it up every now and then. Do some sprints during it. During your mile, just pick all right, I'm going to sprint as fast as I can, as hard as I can to that next light pole. And then I'll walk for 30 seconds, and then I'll do it again. And just do that over and over. And just try to mix it up. You don't want it to get boring, because that's what kills people. They get bored. They start dreading going running. But if you think about it, if you run for half an hour to an hour a day, that's it. That's 1 hour out of your day. That's really not anything. Especially during the summer. Obviously, a lot of you guys are going to start school here relatively soon. But during the summer, that's nothing. And even during school, if you're in PE, push yourself when you're doing PE, when your coach or your teacher or whatever has you running, push yourself during it. And then after school, most schools are out by what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? Get home as fast as you can, go do your run, and then knock out your homework, knock out all your schoolwork, the shit you got to do, and then spend the rest of the night, chilling with your family, playing video games, whatever you do. But it definitely behooves you to knock the shit out and just get your run done and get it over with. And that's what I've been doing. Once I get off work, I get off work at 3:30 now in the afternoon because day shift is awesome. I go to the gym, I run, I do my run, and then I do weights. And if you can work weights into it, excellent. But this is a running video, so I'm not going to talk about that. But that's what I recommend. And then eventually you'll be able to push it to where you'll be able to do 3 miles and you'll be able to do 4 miles and stuff like that. So just keep pushing it, guys, and you'll get there. Trust me. So if you have any questions, concerns, comments, if you have any advice, feel free to give it. But be nice, be constructive. Don't be a dickhead, or I will ban you. So, all right, guys. I will see you in the next one. Semper Fi.